Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and as always troops, we're here to react and discuss the latest Rangers game that finished Rangers 2, Aberdeen 2. And I'm going to be honest with you ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be my usual self in today's video because again we all know the terrible news and the heartbreaking news that obviously happened yesterday, and that's why there was no preview video. And I was thinking about not uploading here, but then you'll get people from the outside saying, oh, you're only uploading because you drop points or anything like that, when the fact of the matter is, the fact that we dropped points tonight is kind of irrelevant in my actual opinion. I'm still doing the dumps in itself, but I will try and go through the video. We'll try and keep everything light and we'll try and go through the game recap, and we'll relive that very frustrating game of football that did see 2 points dropped once again from Rangers, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse than a 2-2 draw. But again, we'll speak about that shortly because I want to actually start off today's video because obviously it was too raw and everything like that yesterday, and I didn't want to make a preview video, and I said a couple of things online and I just had to kind of just take the actual day. And some people maybe on the younger side of things will be wondering why everyone is absolutely scunnered online and know what everyone's kind of taking a wee bit of a step back and everything like that. But that right there, just seeing everyone, especially my generation and older's reaction to the terrible news, is just a testament to what that man gave us, and that was some of the happiest times. Whether you shared it with me, I obviously shared it with my dad and everything like that, was our thing going to the Rangers games. It was taking me since I was literally the high. I'm a little bit bigger now, alright, still, some might say I'm 5'8", but some might say I'm 6'4" when I stand on a table. But those were the moments and memories and everything like that, and a lot of those happy memories and all of those times that we shared with family and my dad and everything like that was because of this wonderful, wonderful man who, again, it doesn't matter what team you support or who you're here to see, or even if you're here to laugh at me and say, get it up, you CJ, Celtic won, Rangers drew, whatever you want. Nobody can look at what that man done and have any ill feelings. He was just an out-and-out footballing man who gave his entire life to football, and you can see the reaction since he's actually passed. Everyone, every club, every sort of player that you've ever came across has came out and only had wonderful things to say. So that's why a lot of us are sitting here devastated. That's why there was no video or that yesterday, and that's why this video is probably going to be absolutely terrible, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not feeling my usual self. It feels like almost like I've lost a granddad or something like that. I know that might be kind of ridiculous of that to say to people, but that's kind of what it feels like, because I think in my mind all the good memories of growing up and everything and all the experiences and that I shared, that man was pretty much always freaking there and always delivered. So I do apologise if today's video isn't up to the usual standard, we're diving into details or anything like that, but I couldn't come here, make a video after what happened yesterday and without mentioning it and just saying thank you to Sir Walter Smith for everything that he gave me throughout my entire freaking life. Again, so many good and so many positive memories, and I know I'm not the only one. That's why everyone's reacted the way that they actually have. So rest in peace, Gaffer, and he will always be the ultimate Gaffer. He always will be Mr. Rangers to me. And again, people can make fun of where I'm from and my accent and everything like that, be like, oh, you should support this team or you shouldn't support this team, blah blah blah. But to me, when my earliest memories in my entire life was sitting there with my father watching that man manage Rangers Football Club, and that's just been a part of my DNA. And I'm sure one day when there'll be a mini 992 cutting about, I'll be doing the exact same, dragging his arse up there and making sure he loves Rangers as much as my dad made sure I loved Rangers. So without going round the circles and everything like that, I kind of just wanted to speak in some of my memories and just give my absolute respect to one of the greatest to ever do it, Sir Walter Smith. And again, best wishes to the entire Smith family as well. And I do apologise, again, that's not what a lot of people will be clicking on to today's video today, but I couldn't be who I am and everything like that if I didn't pay respect to Sir Walter Smith. But we will transition and we will go ahead and speak about the game, because that's what we always do, ladies and gentlemen. Win, lose or draw, we're always here to break it down and discuss it. So let's discuss Rangers 2, Aberdeen 2, and a game of football that can only ever be described one way: infuriating beyond belief. Because that's what I got from that game of football, because I thought with everything that went on and everything like that, I thought we would start with real pressure and real aggression and high press. I thought the intensity and that would be there. I thought we'd be chasing every blade of grass down, because Aberdeen have lost so many players in the back line. I mean, they're playing Scott Brown as a centre back, they're playing Robbie McCrory as a centre back. That's two centre mids, ladies and gentlemen, sitting at the centre back position. They lost a couple of full backs. I really thought the first 15-20 minutes of this game we would come out like an absolute house on fire and really be aware of them, asking this makeshift, held together by band-aids defence actually some questions. But we never And that's baffling. But despite the slow and very, very predictable playstyle, again, our slow, predictable playstyle always gives the ball to Connor Goldson and hopes he creates something. And in the third minute, he did, ladies and gentlemen, with a wonderful switch play out to Calvin Bassey. He drives into the box. He has a good shot, that is well saved by Lewis. And you think to yourself, right, that might be the spark, but it wasn't. And again, we play to our own downfall. And this is what's really, really infuriating, right? Because we're not playing too fantastic in that well right now and everything like that. We're not playing at the level we've came to expect for this Rangers team, but just dinna beat yourself. Stop putting yourselves in trouble and stop doing stupid, embarrassing defensive errors that continues to follow us game upon game upon game. And in the 8th minute we had yet another one, because this is absolutely laughable, people. It's a goal kick here, right? They have not got centre halves. Punt the ball up and win the ball in the air. They can't track anything. They're losing everything in the air, but instead we get our centre back to take our goal kick. That results in a short pass inside our own 6-yard box as we try and find Lundstrom, despite the fact that he's got someone on him. Tav's got Ferguson on him, I think. There's another player that's pushing Connor Goldson, and there's another player, Ramirez, at the back post pushing Balogun. I'm all for if you want to try occasionally catch a team out. If they're sitting with everybody back, playing it short and try to counter that way. But when they've got a full press on with every single player marked, why are we passing it inside our 6-yard box? And why is our centre back actually taking? Would he not been a better option rather than John McLaughlin? The pass is very poor for Connor Goldson. Lundstrom can't get there. It's a wonderful floated pass, and I do apologise, I can't remember exactly. Was it Hedges that chipped it to the back post? And it's a great header by Ramirez. But ladies and gentlemen, that right there is all completely self-inflicted. And you know what's sickening? That wasn't the only time in the game. It's hard to play football when you're constantly beating yourself and you're giving your opponent constantly advantage after advantage after advantage, because one goal wasn't enough. We went ahead and decided to give them a second one where just 5 minutes after that chance that we had, it's a corner kick for Aberdeen. And you know exactly where I'm going. Even if you've seen this goal or you've seen this game or you haven't at all, what are you thinking in your mind right now? Rangers no putting anybody on the post and the ball directly gone where someone would be able to just hit right here and clear it. If we just stopped with the Fanny and zonal half marking, expected goal push, if we just put someone on the post like we did the entirety of last season, it stopped constant goals like this, we wouldn't have conceded a second goal. Now Scott Brown beats Tavernier far, far too easily, just gives him a wee shove, maybe a push off or anything, but again, it's football, it is a contact sport. Sometimes you've got to stand up and be counted and take that type of hang, and then Scott Brown does a brilliant diving header. But again, if we just had someone on the post like we did in every single game last season, it wouldn't have been a goal. But again, just like the first time Aberdeen scored, we showed threat from set pieces, because again, Aberdeen's defensive line was an absolute shambles all afternoon. It is embarrassing we haven't scored mere goals versus that, but what isn't embarrassing is the wonderful delivery from Tavernier as he drops it right into an area where Alfredo Morelos gets his head in it, and it's an instant reply, and the crowd's up, the feeling's up, and you're thinking, right, let's really go after them, because that's us back in the game. That's the third consecutive game where Tavernier's had an assist. It's his 5th assist overall. Wonderful delivery in, and Alfredo gets the goal, and you're thinking, let's go. But there was a man that said let's not go, and that was by the name of Joe Lewis, because he stopped Connor Goldson especially 3 times in a row for the rest of the first half. Again, Tavernier, wonderful delivery in the first time. It drops down to Connor Goldson. It looks like it's going to burst the back in it, but somehow Joe Lewis is there, and then it drops to John Lundstrom and his kind of swiping effort. Again, he's inside the close area and it gets well blocked. You're probably never scoring there with the Bories there, but again, it is another goal bound block from a defence this season, which is very, very frustrating. As was 10 minutes later, exact same. Tavernier drops a corner right in the area, meets Connor Goldson, but guess who else it meets? Joe Lewis, and this one is absolutely fantastic as it gets down the left hand side. It's not really a hit at him this time, it's hit more to the left. It's a brilliant reaction save, and Joe Lewis once again is very, very big for Aberdeen. Now, I would love absolutely nothing more than people to sit here and give a massive smile and say, hey, we went ahead and came out the second half with a real point to prove, and all that slow side by side passive waiting on someone else today, son, was voided in the second half, and we really came out with a point to prove. But we never. It was just give the ball to Connor Goldson and hope our centre back goes ahead and does something. And again, I've expressed my opinions well on that. But eventually we did make changes 10-15 minutes into the second half, which was 10-15 minutes too late, in my opinion. Scott Arfield comes in to the game of football for John Lundstrom. He goes a wee bit further up the park, but again, he very rarely ever got the ball. And every time he ran, to be fair to the lad, he was begging for the ball. He was holding his arms up. He was like, pass me in. But why pass and taking a dangerous or a risky pass when you can pass side to side and finish with 95% passing accuracy? So another 10-15 minutes goes by because none happens. Genuinely none happens in that second half. In fact, it was Aberdeen that went closest to scoring at that point. So we go to the 77th minute of this game, 2-1 down versus Aberdeen at home before we make some attacking substitutions versus a team again that is playing centre mids at centre back and are so damn vulnerable with one simple pass in behind. But eventually, again, 77th minute came in, Sakala came on, Scott Wright comes into the game, and you could see already that was the pace that we needed, because I love my boy Hadji and everything like that, but hitting long through balls to him is pointless because he can't run, he's no goal any freaking pace. That sub should have happened a wee bit earlier in my opinion, but again, I'm not saying I know better or anything, I'm just giving my opinion on the game of football. And you could see already as soon as Scott Wright came on and Sakala came on, at least we had a bit of Sahan, and a bit of Sahan is what we nearly got right away, because the first 50 seconds Scott Wright was on the park, the ball goes to Scotty Arfield, they combine with each other, Scott Wright then bursts down the right hand side, whips in a very very dangerous cross, and Arfield gets there, but it's once again well defended by Ross McCrory, who gets his body and flicks it out for a set piece. Now all these set pieces, but honestly there could have been 15 penalties given in this game for both sides, by the way, because this was a game of football. We know the conditions and everything like that, but the amount of times you're seeing shirts nearly ripped off folk, honestly, if there was VAR, which a lot of people are clamouring for, that would have finished 15-16 or something tonight, because it was genuinely horrific the amount of grabbing and that was going on. But obviously nothing was given at this point, but as the minutes started to tick on, we started to get in the ascendancy. Aberdeen started to go down and hold their head all the time and do this, but then stretch their groins and everything like that. So it's kind of taking advantage of the rule there. It's supposed to help serious injuries, but again, you're going to have people that play to that rule. So in comes the 81st minute of the game, where once again it goes to Tavernier, and Tavernier does a little floated pass. He's kind of central to be fair, but he tries to float it in behind the defence, and Sakala's there, and David Bates, I thought originally David Bates had came here and absolutely just nailed him off the ball, but when the time I got home and that and I checked the replay, I think this one's very very light, and to be honest with you, I think we've got lucky that this is a penalty kick. Again, I've only seen one highlight. By the time I got home, I fired on, I went, right, I'm going to go ahead and go with that. I might see extensive highlights, so somebody can tell me down in the comment section below, but for me, I think we're very, very lucky to get that penalty kick, and to be fair, with what Sakala shown in front of goal, Bates would have probably been better just leaving him, but it gets took down. The referee sees it as a penalty kick for, I think, a pull or a push down on Sakala, and now, obviously, Kamar Roof is off at this point. He's been brilliant with his penalty kicks so far, and up steps Tavernier, who's missed 4 of his last penalty kicks and who's had a very very mixed afternoon, very poor defensively in my opinion, beaten far too easily, just gets out-muscled and out-manned for their actual goal, completely loses his man. But again, he's had an assist in the game, he's whipped in 5 very very dangerous corners that could have genuinely ended up in the back of net with a bit more heading and a wee bit less quality for Joe Lewis. So Tav steps up, and I'll be honest with you, I was just sitting like this, I couldn't even open my eyes, man. I was absolutely bricking myself because I knew his penalty history, and then I stood and I heard the note, I heard the gasp, and then I heard the celebration, and I knew I hit the back of net. And when I seen it back, by the way, I've got to be honest, it was a fantastic penalty kick inside the post, and that was big for him as well, especially when he's had such a mixed / poor afternoon defensively. But again, you're always going to get good stuff going forward, because not only was it another assist, it was another goal, making him now the second highest scoring defender in Rangers history, behind the greatest ever Rangers to do it, ladies and gentlemen, by the name John Greig. So that's an interesting and very very highest esteem quality for Tavernier. Now again, he's still pretty far away for John Greig, but to be in the conversation in terms of goal scoring, that is a fantastic achievement from Tavernier. But again, I've got to be honest, there's only frustration for me, because yes, we came back for 2-0 down, and people can look at it and say what they want, but we should have won that game. And I look at the last 10 minutes especially, even 15 minutes, sorry, because we're 5 minutes added on. Scotty Arfield shoving people, he gave 2 stupid silly fouls with one in his own half, and he just shoves them From behind, that allows 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to get milked off the clock. The other yin, he just shoves from the edge of the box after the ball's kind of dropped him. Scott Wright's here, he's coming to get it. Barfield just shoves him in the back. That's another 60 seconds off the clock. Connor Golton versus Johnny Hayes, shove in the back, which allows another 2 minutes off the clock. And it was just filled with all these mistakes from experienced players who should know better, but given Aberdeen what they want, an opportunity to lie down and chew at the clock, because there was 15 minutes to go at the end of that game. I'd be surprised if there was 6 minutes of football actually played. But again, in saying that, you've actually got to create things, you've got to have a pop, you've got to be brave to take on people. And we just never had enough of that this afternoon. So we got what we deserved. If no, we got a wee bit lucky with the penalty kick. Again, I feel like somebody's going to be shouting me saying it was a clear penalty. And if it is, brilliant. I'll correct that in the comments. But my first initial reaction was we got lucky with that one. But that's all I've really got to say about the game of football. Sorry if it's not to the same standard or anything. I'm just feeling a little bit flat right now. There's a lot of weight on. Not only has it been an emotional time with what happened to Sir Walter Smith, but a lot of stuff's gone wrong behind the scenes and in the old personal life and that right now. But I'm trying to continue to make the videos. I'm trying to entertain these, trying to make you laugh and everything like that, or give you information about the upcoming games, etc, when I can. But that's my thoughts and opinions on the game of football. Very, very frustrated, very, very devastated. I just wanted more from that game. I just wanted more from the players, because that felt like a game that we had to go out there and win, if I'm honest with you. And you know exactly what I'm saying. And the fact that we never, just doesn't really sit right with me, if I'm honest with you. But again, it is still one individual game. We did come back from 2-0 down. Maybe we'll look at this at the end of the season and be like, this was a brilliant point gained rather than 2 dropped. But right now, it really feels like 2 dropped, given how Aberdeen were playing and how we've been playing over the last couple of games. But with that being said, troops, that's the end of today's video. Make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions. And it's time for the old outro now, so take care of yourselves, everyone. I've been CJ Novo 992. All the best, and bye-bye.